Hello and welcome to BBC School Report from Maidstone Grammar School. I'm Dom, this is Christian and George.
Our headlines today. The hunt continues for flight MH370 after weeks of searching. Manston Airport facing closure, and here at MGS Sport Relief takes over the school.
Now to our main story for today. A Thai satellite has now spotted 300 objects in the area of the southern Indian Ocean, believed to be the parts of the missing Malaysian Airlines flight MH370. The images were taken 3 days ago, 24 hours after a French satellite picked up 122 objects. Flight MH370 disappeared on the 8th of March and as yet no debris have been recovered. Friends and relatives of those on board have been consigned to accept the fact they have perished, but they are still frustrated that no information on what exactly happened has emerged. Efforts to retrieve the debris and the crucial black box recorder are being hampered by bad weather in the area. In other news, shock news from the USA as a woman who was abandoned as a newborn in 1986 has been reunited with her natural mother, Catherine Depril, aged 27, was left in a Burger King restaurant as a baby. She started searching for her real mum in March using social media networks. She struck lucky earlier this week after her Facebook post was shared 30,000 times and her mother came forward.
In national news, on the 14th of March, the country saw the passing of renowned socialist politician Anthony Wedgwood Benn, aged 88. Tony Benn was a proactive leader of the British left and the first peer to surrender an aristocratic title. Mr. Benn was famous for championing Labour union rights and for his continued opposition to members in the European Union and the Iraq War. It was business as usual for hundreds of thousands of British schoolchildren one day off. Tens of thousands of teachers of the National Union of Teachers went on strike over pensions, pay and conditions. The national strike was the second within the same academic year, which Ofsted Chief Sir Michael Wilshaw condemned Schools Minister David Laws, said he was disappointed in the action. Talks continue between the departments for education and the unions.
In local news, a possible new buyer has been identified for a Kent airport threatened with closure. An MP says Roger Gale, Conservative MT for Thanet North, said he believed he had found a reputable new buyer. Loss-making Manston Airport was bought by Anne Gloag, who co-founded the Stagecoach Group, for £1 in October. She said she planned to make it successful and vibrant, but last week 144 airport staff were told of a 45-day consultation on its possible closure. Speaking to BBC Radio Kent, Roger Gale said, "I have spoken to a huge number of people and I have identified a willing buyer. I believe them to be reputable. I believe them to have experience and I believe them to have the money, but I have no proof of any of that." He added Mr. Gale refused to give any details of the potential buyer. In school news, MGS took part in Sport Relief last Friday, trying to raise more than it did 2 years ago, when the school was on the top 10 fundraising schools in the country. A 24-hour rowathon, spearheaded by the headmaster and over 100 participating staff and students, set the ball rolling with over £2,700 raised. Events across the day included the science department dressing up as sportsmen, a staff versus students dodgeball game, plus the MGS Mile, won by Mr. Highstreet. In total, the school has raised over £4,000, with there's still more to come. Well done, MGS. Let's come to some sports now with George.
First this afternoon, Liverpool kept up the pressure on Manchester City and Chelsea in the hunt for the Premier League title. Naming an unchanged 11 from their 6-3 win against Cardiff at the weekend, goals were harder to come by this time, out as they ran 2-1 winners against Sunderland, now firmly in the relegation battle. Goals from Gerrard and Sturridge either side of half-time gave Liverpool a 2-0 lead, but a 76th minute goal from Sunderland gave them hope. Manager Brendan Rodgers has played down their title chances, however claiming Manchester City are still the favourites. Meanwhile in Scotland, Celtic wrapped up the SPL title following a 5 win over Partick Thistle. Over in Bangladesh, England's cricketers are facing a must-win match in the 2020 World Cup against Sri Lanka. England have won the toss and they have chosen to bat. They are currently 123 for 1 after 12 overs. And finally in F1, the teams have started running at the Sepang circuit ahead of the second race of the season. Mercedes are again favourites going into the race, with Britain's Lewis Hamilton hoping for his first win of the season after suffering from an problem in Australia. That's all your sport for now.
In showbiz news, reality TV talent show The X Factor took this to the stage last night as the new musical version had its West End debut, I Can't Sing, has been written by comedian Harry Hill and it's made its debut at the Palladium Theatre in London. It tells the story of Chanice and Max, who take the plunge audition for The X Factor and end up making the final. The whole thing is designed to gently mock the popular TV show, but has been endorsed by Simon Cowell, who is listed as a co-producer. On the red carpet to the debut last night, Simon Cowell also moved to deny reports Rihanna has signed as a judge for the next series of the popular TV talent show.
And now for the weather. At last, some good news for the weather in Maidstone. The next few days are set to be fair, with temperatures set to rise to 18 degrees, with not a drop of rain in sight. Has spring finally sprung? Thank you for listening. This has been BBC School Report at Maidstone Grammar School.